Hey guys, so as you might have noticed yesterday, I did one of my Netflix videos, one of my Netflix picks videos, and I just wanted to mention that that news channel format was really bumming me out. It was so depressing, and I started off really enjoying it, but then the more I got into it, the more depressing I thought it was. So I really don't want to go back to the makeup channel because makeup videos and doing that all the time, it kind of makes you want to buy stuff all the time to show what's new. And I really don't want to buy a bunch of makeup because I have so much already that I feel like I don't really need any. So I'm just gonna do random videos on whatever I feel like talking about or whatever interests me at the time. So I just wanted to mention that that's why yesterday was a Netflix pick video. Today is a video about my favorite cookbook. I'm just gonna do different things. It's easier to have a channel that is a specific subject because then people know what to expect, but I don't know. I think it would be way more fun to just, you know, have it be a surprise and have it be different subjects all the time, but whatever. That's what I think I'm just gonna do for now. I don't know. I'm very, undecided about the whole thing. But anyways, today's video is about my favorite cookbook. Of all the cookbooks that I own, and I have quite a few, this one is my favorite. I use it all the time and have been using it all the time. I especially use it when the weather gets cooler. When fall rolls around, I start cooking different. In the summer, I cook very simply, and I get more ambitious and more looking for things that are a little more filling and a little more complex once the weather gets colder. So unfortunately this book is out of print, but you can buy it used on Amazon for $1 and change, or if you shop at used bookstores you may come across it. The copyright on it is, or it was printed originally in 1998, and the authors are Mary Jane and Jeff Carterell Hermans. It's a hyphenated name. It's a couple from Wisconsin, and they had adopted a whole bunch of kids. When they made the decision to adopt some children, they got some information and they didn't want to break up a family, so they adopted a whole bunch of kids that were brothers and sisters, and I think that's awesome. So once they had all these kids, then they realized that this was going to be very expensive to feed them. So the name of the book is Eating Economically is Just Plain Smart. And then the subtitle is How We Feed Our Family of 7 for Less than $50 a Week. Now, like I said, this was from 1998, so this was, 16 years ago, so food prices weren't as high as they are now. But there's still lots of good advice in here. In the introduction, they give you ideas about where to shop and how to plan meals, and how much money you can save by shopping at certain kinds of stores. And then they give you a breakdown of what she buys for food for different categories. But even if you don't want to, even if you're not interested in any of that, the recipes themselves, some of them are really good. Some of them I wasn't crazy about, but some of them I really like. This is what the cover of the book looks like, in case you're curious. And like I said, it is out of print, but I love this book and I really have enjoyed using it. Some of the things in here are a lot more work than others. You just have to kind of go through it, and you can just tell by reading it which things are going to be a little more complicated than others. For example, they have recipes in here on how to make pizza, calzones, things like that. I don't get involved in that because it requires making a pizza dough, and I don't have good luck with that. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I just don't have good luck making anything that starts with a pizza dough, so I kind of avoid those recipes. And I don't make the dessert recipes because I'm always trying to lose weight, so the last thing I need is to have a bunch of delicious desserts in the house. But some of these recipes are really good. For example, the one that I made last night for dinner was the broccoli potato chicken dish, and very simple, only 5 ingredients: potatoes, broccoli, chicken, cheese, and mushroom soup, and really, really good. And like I said, I make things this time of year that are a little more filling because there's something about this time of year that just really makes you hungry all the time. I guess your body is getting ready for winter or something, but you have to be kind of careful with some of these recipes because some of them are really delicious and you're gonna want to eat more than what you should. So we have to just try not to demolish the whole thing in one sitting, and you know, hold ourselves back and not eat the whole casserole dish and, you know, save the rest for lunch the next day or something like that. But yeah, that's one that I really like. There's a couple of lasagna recipes in here that are also very good. I like there's a 6-layer casserole that I think I'm going to be making tonight for dinner that's also excellent. They have lunch recipes in here too for some quick lunches. They have soup recipes, sandwich recipes. They have breakfast type recipes, muffins, all kinds of things. And yeah, so you can get this on Amazon for $1 and changed in the used section, and it's really good. I highly recommend it. So if you're going to be placing an order from Amazon, you might want to pick it up. This originally retailed for $14.99 when it was out, you know, in retail stores. I happened to come across it one day at Borders bookstore, which, you know, Borders no longer exists, but I used to work at Borders, and I happened to see it one day when I was straightening out some books, and I said, ooh, this looks really interesting. And I'm so glad I got it because I have used this probably more than any other cookbook I own, at least now anyway. I tend to go through phases with cookbooks where I'll use a specific cookbook over and over and over again, and then I'll move on to something else or go back to something that I used before. But this is a really great book and I highly recommend it. And she's a big fresh food type person, you know. She incorporates a lot of vegetables into the recipes, which of course is great because a lot of people, especially kids, don't like vegetables, and I've noticed that most of her recipes, the vegetables are sort of mixed in. There's a lot of casseroles and things like that, so you don't if you were a kid, you wouldn't mind eating it as much, or if you were a kid, it would be easier to get used to eating vegetables. And I used to hate vegetables when I was younger, but I eat them all the time now as an adult, and I enjoy them a lot more than I used to. And one of the things I've noticed about her recipes is if you just peruse through it, you'll see that a lot of these recipes call for a variety of types of food. Like, for example, in terms of convenience, she keeps frozen vegetables, fresh vegetables, and some of the recipes call for the frozen, which is great because sometimes if it's like getting towards the end of the week or something with your shopping, you may not have any fresh vegetables left because they don't really have that great of a shelf life. So if all you have in the house is frozen vegetables, it's just really good in terms of convenience. She also seems to use a lot of canned tomatoes and things like that in her recipes, which I was never much of a fan of tomatoes, but as I've gotten older, again, my tastes have changed in things, and now my husband is like the biggest tomato fan in the world. He just can't get enough tomatoes in any shape or form. So I incorporate a lot of that into the way I plan the meals, and I think that's why this cookbook, one of the reasons why this cookbook has been such a hit at my house, because there are a lot of tomato-based recipes. And it's really gotten me to try a lot of things that I wouldn't normally eat, and it's good to expand your horizons. So yeah, this is my current favorite cookbook and has been for a long time. This video was requested a long time ago, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. So yeah, pick it up if you want at Amazon.com or a used bookstore if you see it. And that's it for today, you guys. Bye.